Hey guys, so today I just wanted to kind of address some of your questions and do kind of a first trimester Q&A, kind of just update video. I'm 20 weeks pregnant right now that I'm shooting it. As many of you know, the first trimester goes until the end of your 12 or 13 weeks of being pregnant. For the first 4 weeks, you don't really know that you're pregnant, and that's when I ran the Boston Marathon. I took a test the first day that they say that you'll get a positive result, and after that, I obviously stopped drinking. I stopped eating unpasteurized cheeses. I was in Europe, so a lot of the cheeses were unpasteurized. Here in the US, almost all of our cheeses are pasteurized unless you're at a fancy grocery store. So I don't really have to worry about that now, but at the time I was in Europe. I also had stopped eating raw fish like sushi. I also stopped eating turkey sandwiches. There's a few other foods that I also stopped eating, like fresh pressed juice that wasn't pasteurized. And I'll tell you a few more things later. As for working out, I didn't really modify what I did too much in the first trimester. However, one of the most common symptoms during the first trimester is morning sickness and being really tired. Those are the two that usually prevent women from working out. I luckily only had morning sickness really bad for 3 to 4 days. Now, I tried to exercise on those days that I didn't feel well, even though it wasn't much. I did, an easy Pilates class or a yoga class. And I really think the fact that I was able to exercise throughout my first trimester is what helped me feel good and not be sick. And also, it kept my energy levels up. Sometimes I would take 2-hour naps in the middle of the day. For those of you that have office desk jobs, I don't know how you guys do it. Most people do not share their news about their pregnancy until after the 12th week. That is because that's when your risk for miscarriage significantly drops off. A lot of people do not share news that they're pregnant before then because they run the risk of then having to tell someone, I miscarried. I don't think that's anything to be ashamed about, but I just wanted to be better safe than sorry. And also, we wanted to tell our close friends and family all in person, which is why I waited to tell all of you guys until 20 weeks. I didn't see some of my closest friends until the end of July, so I didn't have an opportunity to tell them before that, and I didn't want some of my best friends to learn through YouTube that I was expecting. I got one question on my announcement video on how my exercise has changed since I found out that I was pregnant. No longer do I do really intense cardio workouts because I'm also supplying oxygen to the baby. So I try to keep my heart rate below 160. For me, that is okay. For you, that might be way too high. My body is used to being at a 170, at a 180 heart rate beats per minute. So for me, 160 is at least 10 to 20 beats per minute lower. I do not do as high intensity workouts weekly. And when I do run, I try to keep my heart rate between 140 and 150, 155 usually. Also, I no longer do any twisting exercises. You're not supposed to lie on your back after the first trimester, but I really haven't been bothered lying on my back yet, so I am still doing some things on my back. And I also stopped doing crunches after the first trimester because I do not want to deal with a diastasis recti. Another question I got was, how has my diet changed? Now, early on in my pregnancy, I had really salty cravings. I used to always have sweet cravings. So instead of having desserts, I was just eating, higher calorie dinners. So normally I would have something like, grilled chicken and some fish, and then maybe I would have dessert. No. Now I was having like a burger on an Ezekiel bun, or beef burger on an Ezekiel bun, and for like a side, it would be some salty side. It wouldn't be anything sweet. Sweet potatoes, bleh. Salmon was another one that I really was turned off of. But really I had just some strong salty cravings, and also I started eating more dairy. I've always thought that I had a mild allergy to dairy, so I didn't eat a lot of it because I thought it made me break out or it made me look bloated. It turns out that your pregnancy glow actually comes from eliminating alcohol. No one said that to me, but that's my personal opinion. Everyone keeps saying, oh, you're glowing, and I think it's because I haven't had a sip of alcohol since I found out, and so my skin looks pretty good and I'm well hydrated. So basically, the only things in my diet that have changed, I'm eating more carbs, I'm eating more dairy, and really you're only supposed to eat about 300 extra calories. But those of you guys that follow me, you know that I'm always kind of trying to lose like 1 or 2 pounds for like some video. So really my diet has actually probably gone up about 500 calories because I'm eating the, the 18 to 2,000 calories that I need to sustain my body weight. Then I'm also adding in those 300 calories to help the baby. So sometimes those extra calories come from ice cream sundaes, or sometimes they come from burgers and fries. I've been indulging a little bit, but I've only gained about 10 pounds. I'm 20 weeks in, so I'm right on track for being healthy, so I don't feel bad about eating those things. Even though you didn't know you were pregnant, did you find the marathon more challenging than the others before realizing the great news? I thought that the Boston Marathon was the most miserable 4 hours of my life. I had no idea that I was pregnant. I should have in hindsight, because it's not that we weren't trying, but it just didn't dawn on me at the time. I have only done 2 marathons. Chicago was a great experience. I did not go for time and the weather was perfect. Boston, I was going for time and the weather was terrible, and I started earlier than I should have with a wave I didn't deserve to be in. So I did not have a support network of runners around me because they were all faster than me. So they were all passing me. That's my own fault and something I regret. But the marathon was definitely more challenging. I just couldn't get in the zone. The entire time, all I said to myself was, if you run this in under 4 hours, you're never doing a marathon again. And the other one was, pain is temporary, glory is forever. So yes, I did find the marathon much more challenging. I kind of answered this question earlier, but the last question I'll answer is if I found being active during my pregnancy has made it easier. I 100% think that staying active throughout the first trimester and into where I am right now, 20 weeks, has made my pregnancy much easier. To be honest, sometimes I forget that I'm pregnant, but then as soon as I look down and I see that I got a little bit more of a pooch there, I remember. But I definitely think it helped my energies stay up, and it also helped me not feel sick. If you guys are thinking of getting pregnant, you're not supposed to start anything new once you are. So I would highly recommend starting a fitness program before you get pregnant so that you can continue it throughout. And based on a lot of the comments that you guys have left me and conversations I've had with other fitness professionals, it seems like having an active pregnancy does allow you to have an easier labor process. Because if you think about it, labor can go for 24 hours. That's basically like a marathon. You're pushing, it's hard. So if you're in shape, you're gonna be better equipped to be prepared for what demands the doctors are gonna ask of you. That's about all the updates I have for the first trimester. Again, I didn't tell people until week 12 because I wanted to make sure that my risk of miscarriage was low, and I wanted to tell my friends in person, which is why I didn't tell you guys until 20 weeks. Hopefully you understand. And yeah, if you have any other questions, leave them down below. I'll do another pregnancy update after the end of my second trimester. Peace out.